Mimi venye walinilazimisha hapo, walisema tunataka na wewe usiyeoleka mahali pengine, usiyeoleka mahali pengine. Kama Onyinga amekufa, usiyeoleka mahali pengine kabisa kabisa. Watu walifanya hivyo ndio nisiyeoleka mahali pengine. Juu hapo penye walikuwa wananichapia, wale vijana wenye walikuwa wanachimba kaburi walinirusha mara 2 kwa kaburi ndani. Jeneza imewekwa ndani, mchanga imewekwa kidogo, nikarushwa, nikatolewa. Tena ya pili nikarushwa, mama mwingine akaning'oa nywele.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Savik TV, your home of infotainment. So if you're in Kenya or its environs, you've definitely seen this. And seen this. As Savik TV fraternity, we've been pushed by virtue of this being a matter of public interest to come out and condemn it with the highest terms possible, because yes, it's not our niche content. We don't normally do news and all this, but we have to do this because it has really elicited a lot of rage across the country, and we're equally perturbed by such. So we really have to come out and say this was very, very wrong. So according to the Kisii culture or the Kisii tradition, women were not obligated to bury their husbands. What do I mean? Women were not obligated to throw in soil to the grave when burying their husbands, except under very specific conditions. And which are these conditions? In case a woman was suspected to have participated in the husband's demise, then she was forced to throw in soil to the grave so that in case anything happened, to exonerate herself, basically. That is what they used to do. Remember, I'm saying traditionally, so it's not like it's something that is happening currently, but back in the day, according to the Kisii culture, that is what used to happen. Secondly, the second condition where a woman was forced to throw in soil into the grave is in a case where dowry has been paid and the family does not want the woman to remarry, so they force her, hey, you have to throw in soil in there into the grave so that you don't get to remarry again, because remarrying once you've thrown in the soil had its own repercussions. When soil was thrown into the grave, you've buried your husband, so there's a bond. When you get to remarry, the person who gets to marry the woman will have, maybe the health is affected, they might die. That is the new husband. So such is what tradition stated back then. And this is courtesy of former director of culture, Kisii County, Mr. Obino Nyambane. I'm just quoting what he recently said. And then, of course, he said that the burying of fathers or the burying of husbands was left to children because they're inheriting, their father's estate and all that. So it was their responsibility to bury the father. And you can get to have a listen on what he said right here.
No, work kamago is part of Enyo. Are you aware?
Kwake kama was part of it.
Ikero monda siri.
Ni mate kama kwako
kile. Family.
How it's family it's
Yes, because that is heredity. And omogusi heredity was paternal. So omontonaro wake kama go from the paternity perspective.
Yeah, so there you have it. Now, let's discuss what happened in Kisii, rather in Nyamira. What exactly happened? How did we end up seeing that video? How did we end up at the gravesite? So it's a long story, but I'll try to shorten it as much as I can so that we get the perspective. So here is Melen, and here is the guy. I'm forgetting the name. Was it Onyinga or was it Osoro? I don't want to confuse the name, so forget the husband's name for now. Let's use the woman's name because that is known. That is Melen. So Melen and her parents live in Narok. And it's here in Narok that Melen meets the husband. Apparently the husband was working there at the time. Who is Melen? Melen works in a hospital. It's not very clear whether she's a medic or she's a counselor, because according to the father, he says she's a counselor working under the, the VCT and all that. But she works in a hospital. That is all we know, according to Melon's account. So they meet there. Of course, friendship comes in, maisha inaanza. But then it's an on and off relationship, because according to the father, at some point, Melon left the husband and came to ask the father for money to go rent a place of her own, which of course the father gave into and gave her money, and that, that was it. Later, of course, they get to have their first child, their first daughter, because they have two kids, the daughter and the son. So they have the daughter, and then of course the relationship is still on off, because of course the man was seeing other women, according to Melon. So again, it's allegedly according to Melon, not according to Savik. Yeah. So, and then after now that happening, on off, the husband and Melon go for a test, a HIV test. And this is what happened according to Melon.
The time yenye nilikuta hii ya mwisho yenye tulikuja kurudiana, na nikamwambia sasa inastahili utulie, nafanya kazi hospitali. We go through the test, tulifanya matesti fulani, venye nilienda kuambia mama kijana kwako hivi na hivi na hivi, that's the time aliamua kunilipia mahari. Anajua hata penye yako ni nini ninamaanisha na ni nini ninasema. Hata jamaa alikuwa anasema nitajua, kumbe niko hivyo. Nikamwambia tulia, nafanya hospitali, nitakuwa nafanya this one, siku yenye utakuwa sawa tutazaa watoto. Na Mungu akanibariki nikazaa mtoto kijana. Kwanza hata venye nilizaa juu nilifanyiwa CS, akatoroka tena akaenda mwaka na nusu yenye tena hakuiona mtoto wangu mdogo. So nimeishingi kwa marriage yenye ni marriage sawa, lakini hata kama ni hiyo mali yenye walikuwa wamelipa, sijaishi vizuri maishani mwangu tangu nimjua Nyinge. Juu hajaikaa kama baba wa watoto wangu hata siku moja. Watoto wamelelewa hapa nyumbani.
Yeah, so there you have it. But now, according to the father is like, the account that the father was giving, that is, he's like, when the test was done, that is before they had their second child, Melon realized that, of course, yeah, the HIV results were not what they expected, so they were positive. And she contacted the mother-in-law. She was like, hey, this is the condition that your son is in. And when the mother learned that, she rushed very fast to ensure that dowry is paid, so that her son does not die without kids, does not lose his lineage. So she paid dowry. And here is what was paid: one cow, one calf, and 50,000. That is according to the father of Melon. So that comes, they get cancelled, they start, taking medication and all that. Eventually, they're able to get their second child, a son now, the son who buried this man. So again, after that, of course, the relationship is still on and off. According to Melon, the husband used to maybe visit them once a year to get the kids, to take them home and all that, but they were not living together. According to Melon, again, she said that they had both moved on. The husband had moved on, she had moved on, allegedly. Yeah, so one day, I think that was on 6th or 7th of March, according to her, she gets contacted that, you know what, your husband has been involved in an accident. Unfortunately, we've lost him. So her mother joins her, and they leave Narok, they go to Nyamira, of course, to get the gist, what happened, how did we end up here. So they are told, hey, he was involved in an accident, he was in some bad drinking, and then they fought, he was trying to run away, and then some bike guys were following him, and then of course he had an accident, the car kind of rolled or something, it wasn't very clear, and then that is how they ended up there. So that happens, and she now asks, where is the vehicle that, let's go to the morgue first. So they go to the morgue, they see the body, they view the body, and they go, she's asking now, can I have a look at the car? Which police station is the car in? Apparently the car was hidden in another compound. It wasn't taken to police station. According to the father-in-law, again, allegedly, he did not have the right papers, but that is according to him. So they say that when they visited the place where the car was, now the father-in-law, they realized that the engine wasn't there, and of course some tires were not there and all that. But we'll let that be. So, of course, burial arrangements begin. They finally agree that it's Melanie's side that will buy the coffin for the husband, and then they'll be the ones again buying the food to feed people at the funeral, which happens, of course. Now, where the matter of contention starts coming in is when Melanie gets the food from Narok to her place, then she's like, why can't you open the house? Apparently, she had taken a loan with the husband. They had built another house. So there's the house where the husband was circumcised in his youth, and there's the new house that they had built close to the side of the road. Now, she was asking for keys to access this side because they had beds, they had mattresses and all that, and she wanted to put her gas there and, you know, all the foods that she had brought in. But they were taken to the old house, the smaller house. So she started having issues. If you guys really want me to stay in this family, or, you know, once the burial is done, why are you not allowing me to access the very house that I built? You know, those questions were not really answered. That was before the burial. And of course, according to the father, again, father of Melon, she had stated clearly from the onset that she won't throw in the soil. Hatarusha mchanga. Why? She had her own reasons, of course. So now, fast forward to the burial day. Of course, the kid, kijana wa kwanza, that is the son, is the one who dug. According to tradition ya Kisii again, it's the first son that buries the father. So he's the one that will dig the first atachimba ya kwanza before now the people start digging the grave. So that is what he'll do. So he did that. Imefika time ya kurusha mchanga, they've done that as well. But now the lady says, no, I am not going to do that. Because first, you've not even allowed me to access my house. So how sure am I that you'll actually stay with me harmoniously here? Secondly, he had moved on, I had moved on. We're not really living together at the moment. So why should I again participate in that? So that was another concern. And, you know, that is how now they ended up. That rage was now there between this side and this side. Remember, dowry was paid. The dowry had not been returned. So according to tradition of Kisii, again, since dowry hasn't been returned, she was obligated to bury the husband. And remember the first thing that I said about tradition, that if you don't throw in again, it will be suspected that you might have participated in something, which of course she didn't, but, you know, that is tradition. So that's why they were kind of forcing her. Do I agree with this? Nah. It was the very wrong thing to do. Imagine that being done to your daughter or your sister or whatever. It was very, very wrong. So by the time we are shooting this on 26th of March 2025, the three suspects have been arraigned in court. They were arraigned in court on 25th of March. They are not all, because we all saw the video. So the people that were arrested are actually family members. They're not even the people that fully participated in this. But then the three suspects were arraigned in court on 25th, and then they were remanded for 7 days. So after that, I think that is when the case will be mentioned again. But what do we all learn from this story? Is tradition really good? I think, according to me, some traditions have really been, you know, time has really gone. They've been overpassed by time. Let me use that for lack of a better word. They've been overtaken by events. So by now we shouldn't really be forcing people to do that. The lady had moved on. She was actually thrown to the coffin, rather to the grave twice. We did not see that in the video, but that actually happened. Her hair was cut, it was thrown in. She was fed some soil was put in her private parts. Her children, her daughter, you know, she was fed some soil again. She was fed water. It wasn't a very good scene. And we really do hope that such won't repeat itself. But basically that is, those are the issues leading to what happened on the burial day. The father is threatening to return the dowry so that the entire thing, you know, the entire relationship can be done and be over with. Let's see how the story unfolds. So, in a nutshell, that is what happened in Nyamira between Merlin and her in-laws. So, I think let's really control our emotions. Let's handle situations with decorum. Such situations, It was a morning session. It wasn't supposed to end how it ended. And I hope that it doesn't paint the community in bad light, because, tradition is tradition, and some have been overtaken by events. So really, we need not to stick, or no, we need not to cling so much to what used to happen in our forefathers' days. Thanks for watching Savik TV. Peace out, and remember to subscribe if you're yet to. Thank you.